escape rooms with companies. Companies often have to get creative when it comes to boosting employee morale. When caught in a rut and stuck doing mundane tasks, how does one boost employee morale while also making it a team building project? Escape rooms are now on the rise for helping employees of various companies work together and use team building skills to reach a common goal.
Well then, that was a
This
lot.
is what we do.
Yes, we can offer quite a bit on that, but first, go back to puzzles good for morale. You're welcome, Brian. Escape room games, great for employee morale boost, center on team building, and relationships you can build with companies. So, yeah, I 100% believe that puzzle content is great for morale because we see this at all of our events. You've got so many people in a room. A sense of competition definitely happens between the tables when we host our events. And we always have one person, usually me, as like a host MC who's kind of like, keeping a chronicle of that. So it'd be like, team awesome, is in first place with, X amount of puzzles completed. And, and we kind of keep that going so that they know who's where in their games. And it does create that, like, we've got to catch up and keep the momentum. And then they'll start, kind of like throwing some shade back and forth. And it creates a really fun environment. And when things are being solved, there's not just the boost of like, we solved it, but it's, we need to let everyone else's table know that we're catching up or we're ahead. So we're going to make a big deal out of, it's like, everybody, yeah! And yeah, it's contagious. The whole room starts feeling it. We start feeling it. I would say that the morale in our team building off-site events is tremendously better and bigger than anything even in-house. Because there's so much more, element of that contagious morale going on. And then that element of competing, it all comes together. And it really does build like that big explosion of energy as people are succeeding their way through. The only time it dips is whoever's last.
Yeah, especially when they're like way behind the other teams.
We try to push, the teams that have succeeded to help push the teams. I personally, the best morale boosting experience I have ever been part of was when I was competing in CrossFit. And I tried to bring that into our team building events because like that was whoever finished, you felt amazing and you wanted your name on the whiteboard at wherever your position was. And there was nothing like having it first. But your role immediately goes from catch your breath, now go help the rest through it. And so nobody's ever alone at the end of the race. They're surrounded by all of the other people they were competing with a few moments ago, cheering them on and boosting them through. That's the role now. And everyone would flawlessly always do it. There was like one place I went to where that didn't occur, and it was like, nope, this ain't for me. You could kind of tell like that, mentality. And that plays a huge part too in how we facilitate our events and try to make that happen. Now, centering on team building skills, that's all in how you're designing the games. And, that as long as you're designing these games in a way that it's not just everybody take your puzzle, you need to bring the room back to get, like, if you've got a table of 15, then sure, you could have groups of 2 or groups of 3 at that table independently working stuff, but that table needs to come together again. As far as relationships built, proof's in the pudding on that. We have a couple companies now that we have been with multiple times. And this year we are starting our first contracts with companies where we'll be returning monthly for a few, for different events. So that is gorgeous, because that means that we have guaranteed corporate team building income for month X through X now, as a result. So we have our first one starts in January, where for we'll be visiting this company monthly, and that's guaranteed. They're paying up front for all of those months in one shot. So we know, we've got work for 8 or 9 people that are going to go out to that event every single month and perform one of our events. And it's amazing. That's cool. We're literally part of their hiring process now. So we're part of their on-ramping program for new employees. That is so cool. So we love being a part of that, and I love seeing other companies kind of dip their toes in that too. I would have to say, from what I've seen, we are definitely at the forefront of that.
Yeah.
It's just really cool to see. Like, we have our trapdoor van, which we had purchased in order to facilitate our builds, and we were using it for getting things back and forth. But now we're in the hunt for the trapdoor tour bus, because because we rented a bus to go out to Maryland for that event, and that bus wasn't even big enough. So so next is the trapdoor tour bus, because we're going to need to be able to facilitate on a much more regular basis. It's like, there was a point when we first started doing offsite events that we were doing them maybe quarterly. Now we're practically doing them weekly. And, we hope to even cascade that into more and do them daily. We always say what we make a week doing trapdoor locations, we make it an hour doing trapdoor events. And now we're starting to explore even beyond the puzzle content. Like, we have the trivia night game coming up October 28th, where we're building like a game show stage for this offsite event in New York. And it's like so cool that we're getting to be part of these companies on a regular basis. And that was a particular situation where we did a huge, like, 180 player event with them last year at a banquet room at a hotel. And it was an incredible experience. Everyone had a phenomenal time, and even our staff was like, if they book again, we want to do it again. We want to be, we want to be on that night. And this year they called us up, and this isn't even for that event. That event is still happening at a later point with us. But they had said, we're doing another event. It's going to be a little smaller. It's going to be about 80 people, and we're doing it in New York. And our management had said, just hire a company in New York. Why does it have to be Trapdoor? And they were like, no, we have our relationship built with them. They guided everything for us. It's got to be Trapdoor. But this isn't puzzles. You want to do a trivia night. Hire a company that does that. No, it's Trapdoor or nothing. So, like, I was honored to get that phone call. So I was like, of course we're going to make this work and figure it out and make it happen. And we're on our way. And Christina's actually guiding the design of that experience for them. So, it's really becoming not a cornerstone anymore, but a forefront of our business model, is team building. So it's awesome. So yeah.